Welcome back to my channel. Bron Breakker confronts mystery man Jon Moxley on WWE Raw. And tonight we are diving deeper than ever into one of the most electrifying confrontations to shake the red brand in years. A moment that didn't just ignite the WWE universe, but completely reshaped the direction of Monday Night Raw. What unfolded wasn't just another rivalry, not just another dramatic segment, but the collision of two unstoppable forces whose paths seemed destined to intersect from the moment Bron Breakker first stepped foot on the main roster. From the instant that eerie static hit the speakers and the crowd began buzzing with uncertainty, everyone in the arena knew something was about to go down. Something big, something game-changing. And what followed was nothing short of explosive. For weeks, the identity of the mystery man stalking Raw had hung over the show like an ominous cloud, with messages, hints, and mind games escalating week after week. Fans speculated wildly. The locker room remained on edge, and every superstar knew that whoever this shadowy figure was, his arrival promised chaos. Bron Breakker, in particular, felt the pressure mounting as he bulldozed through opponents, rising through the ranks with a kind of ferocity that reminded fans of legends. Yet still someone out there seemed determined to get in his head, to rattle him, to lure him into a war he didn't fully understand. So when the figure finally stepped into the light and revealed himself as Jon Moxley, the reaction wasn't just shock, it was a full-blown eruption. No one expected Moxley, a man known for unpredictability, violence, and rebellion, to walk back into WWE territory, let alone to call out Bron Breakker directly. And the moment their eyes locked, the atmosphere shifted completely. Bron stood there like a coiled spring, ready to explode, while Moxley smirked with that signature sinister calm, a look that said he was not intimidated in the slightest by Breakker's power or reputation. What made this moment even more captivating was the tension that had been building beneath the surface long before anyone even realized it. Breakker's rise has been meteoric, but meteoric rises attract meteoric threats, and Moxley arriving as the mystery man felt like the universe answering that momentum with equal force. Moxley wasn't here to congratulate him, wasn't here to test him. He was here to break him down, expose him, and drag something darker out of him. And Breakker, for all his raw talent and dominance, knew instantly that this wasn't just another opponent. This was a threat unlike anything he had ever faced. The confrontation erupted when Moxley slid into the ring with that iconic swagger, mic in hand but voice steady, calling Bron Breakker out not just as a competitor, but as a target he had chosen deliberately. He talked about Breakker's speed, strength, and potential, but underneath the compliments was venom, a tone that made it clear he was dissecting Bron's psychology, planting seeds of doubt. And when Bron stepped forward, chest to chest, refusing to back down, the crackling intensity in the ring could have set the entire arena on fire. Breakker's response was pure emotion, pure instinct, pure Breakker, telling Moxley that if he wanted a fight, he'd get one, but he would regret ever stepping foot back into this world thinking he could use Bron to make a statement. What followed was chaos. Without warning, Moxley struck, using the split-second advantage to land the first blow, and instantly the two men were brawling across the ring like wild animals unleashed. Security rushed in, producers swarmed the apron, officials tried to separate them, but Breakker fought through bodies just to get one more hit, and Moxley laughed like a man who loved every second of the pain. Watching Moxley smile with blood on his lip while Breakker roared in rage painted a picture of two forces destined to clash again and again until one of them simply couldn't stand anymore. But the confrontation wasn't just physical, it was psychological warfare at its finest. Moxley's return wasn't random. It wasn't spontaneous. It was calculated. He had been watching, waiting, choosing the right moment to strike not because Bron was weak, but because Bron was strong. He attacked the hottest rising star in WWE because taking down Breakker would send the clearest message possible. And Breakker, despite the assault, didn't show fear. He showed excitement, the thrill of meeting someone whose intensity matched his own. In the weeks leading up to this moment, Raw had been plagued with mysterious videos, cryptic messages, flickering lights, and unexplained attacks backstage. Every clue pointed toward someone dangerous, someone with a purpose, someone lurking in the shadows preparing for war. And now, with Moxley unmasked, everything suddenly made sense. He wasn't just wandering into Raw, he was orchestrating chaos from the start. Meanwhile, the reaction online was instant and volcanic. The WWE Universe exploded across social platforms, debating how this confrontation would reshape the future of the brand. Some fans called Moxley the perfect foil to Breakker's unstoppable momentum. Others felt Breakker was the future and Moxley had bitten off far more than he could chew. But one thing was clear: everyone wanted more. This wasn't a one-night moment. This was the beginning of a saga, a rivalry that could define an entire era of Raw. Backstage reports hinted that even officials and producers struggled to contain the two after cameras cut, with both superstars nearly clashing again before being pulled into opposite directions. Breakker stormed through corridors shouting that he wanted Moxley again, tonight, right now, anywhere. Moxley reportedly laughed all the way out of the arena, yelling that this was only the beginning and that Bron should sleep with one eye open. And this is where the story becomes truly fascinating. Bron Breakker has been built as a powerhouse, a wrecking machine, someone who dominates through strength and intensity. But Moxley doesn't fight like everyone else. He doesn't care about power, he doesn't care about technique, he doesn't care about rules. He thrives in brutality, thrives in suffering, thrives in dragging his opponents into a violent world where they crumble mentally long before they crumble physically. Breakker may be strong, but Moxley is relentless. Breakker may be explosive, but Moxley is unpredictable. Their styles are polar opposites, yet perfectly matched for destruction. Imagine what happens when Bron, who's used to overpowering his challengers, suddenly realizes he can't intimidate Moxley. Imagine what happens when Moxley pushes him to a place he's never been before, a place where instinct and aggression aren't enough. This confrontation didn't just set up a rivalry, it set up a transformation. It's the kind of story that could evolve Breakker from a wrecking machine into a warrior forged through chaos. And for Moxley, it's a chance to tear through WWE on his own terms, taking on the company's strongest rising star as his first target. As Raw continues, the question becomes, what happens next? Will Breakker hunt Moxley backstage, demanding retribution? Will Moxley continue mind games, appearing unpredictably, attacking from the shadows? Or will the two collide again in a match so violent, so chaotic, that it becomes one of the defining battles of the year? Whatever direction this story goes, one thing is certain. The confrontation between Bron Breakker and Jon Moxley has ignited something Raw desperately needed.